And welcome to the Bounce Back Leadership Show, where we talk about how important it is to be able to bounce back from your setbacks. We all have setbacks in life, and I want to help you to bounce back from those because being able to bounce back and being able to have the confidence to bounce back is one of the hardest things that, for me, I've been able to do. But I want to share my secrets with you. And I want to share so much more with all of you that are online listening in. As you listen in, ask me if there are any questions. But really, how this whole thing started was back in, 2009, when I was in a job with IBM. I was very, very happy. Things were going very well. But I wanted more. I wanted to make more. I wanted to be able to do better things. But I thought, getting a different job in the sales software world would allow me to have more. So I took this different job. Now, beforehand, I was a client rep. I had overall account responsibility for about $30 million worth of business. And it was a really, really good job. I loved doing what I was doing. I was in my comfort zone. I was doing what I was meant to be, I think. Anyway, so I went from there, and I got this job in software, and I thought I was going to be successful just as well because I've been successful in the past. But it didn't work out that way. I had to realize that something in me was different. I was doing things for the wrong reason. And that's really what caused me to have this situation crop up when everything went out of the bottom fell out of the market. Let me say that the bottom fell out of the market, and they were looking for to get the account team to 6 people, and they were currently 7. Well, I was the new guy on the block, so they took me out. They took me out. So the music stopped, and I was left without a chair, essentially. Anyway, so I had this situation happen for me, and had to realize that it was happening for a reason, but I didn't think about that at the time. I just thought about how awful it was that I was getting let go from my job, and just felt terrible. Anyway, so fast forward to 2011, March 4th of 2011, and I was in this new job. I was working for a new company. I was being a direct seller, trying to make my way in the world. But I had a problem. I had this cavernous malformation in my brainstem, a cavernous malformation, or a cav mal, if you will. They're a malformed blood vessel, and they can form anywhere in your body. Mine just happened to have formed in my brainstem, and it bled. And when it bled, it put pressure on the nerves and control my vision. I went blind. I'll tell you what, there's nothing that has ever been more scary in my life than being blind. I had to realize that I had to depend on so many other people. And for the next few months, I had to depend on my wife, Connie. I mean, we went to multiple places where, where I would have to rely on her to read the menu. I would have to rely on her to open the door. But what really hurt the most was when I had to rely on her to take me to all of my meetings, and that was probably after the surgery. That was after the surgery, which was on April 1st. But going to every meeting and having my wife sit in the parking lot while I was in the meeting was very, very humbling. And it caused me to have a huge sense of my confidence just get sucked out of my wind, sucked out of the air. So having done that and being able to see, no, I shouldn't say that, but doing that and having customers see that I was being waited on, and how'd you get here, Brian? And they're asking me questions like that. It made me realize that I need to be appreciative of my wife more than what I was. Anyway, so have you ever had a situation like that where you've had to rely on someone else for everything? Maybe we have. That's a hard thing to get through. A hard thing to get through because you lose confidence. You lose your self-confidence. So in this webinar that we're going to have at least 7 weeks of webinars, because I want to help you to be able to get your confidence back. I want to be able to get your mojo back. That's the best. So if we can do that, that'll be great. So there are 7 steps that I have lined up, 7 essentially steps or topics that we have lined up where we're going to talk to, and I say we, it's me. We're going to talk to how you can be able to go forward and embrace your blindness, or embrace your disability, or embrace your setback, whatever the setback is, and embrace that to be able to understand how you can go farther. And I still have a little bit of a speech impediment, so that sometimes comes out as well. Anyway, not apologizing for that. Don't ever apologize for your disability. If whatever setback you have, don't apologize for it. Accept it and embrace it. So there's 7 different topics, like I said. So I'm going to pull out this piece of paper here, and I'm going to tell you what those 7 steps are, because we're going to review these in our discussions that we have over the next few weeks, anyway, months. But let's see. First thing is to avoid self-pity and anger. If you can, that's really the first step, because if you can't do that, you really can't go on to the next 6. You've got to be able to avoid self-pity and anger. There were a lot of times where I felt sorry for myself. I didn't know how I was going to live. I didn't know how I was going to make money. I didn't know how I was going to work. I didn't know how I was going to play with my kids. All that stuff. I didn't know. And I felt bad for myself. You've got to get out of your way. You've got to get out of your own way. You've got to allow yourself to go past that. So avoid self-pity and anger. That's going to be one topic. The next topic we're going to cover is to appreciate the setback. If you can appreciate the setback and embrace your own personal blindness, whether you're blind like me or not, if you can embrace your own personal blindness, your setback, then you can understand how there's something else there. If you can appreciate that setback. It's like there was a book that I read by Dr. Bernie Siegel, and he was a medical doctor. He got to a point where he understood his patients so much better than what he had before. He came out of school understanding how to technically take care of the patient, but he took care of the patient strictly from a medicinal perspective. But he realized that there was more to being a good doctor than that. There was the human side. So he got to know his people better. And that allowed them to get better on their own. It was all about self-healing. I shouldn't say all about self-healing, but it was a lot about self-healing because they wanted to get better. So he understood that one of the questions that was asked in the book is, why did you need this cancer? So he was asking his associate or his patient, why did you need this cancer? I think that's really interesting to look at how somebody like that would ask that question. Why did I need this setback? Why did I need this blindness? This blindness has brought me brought me so much closer to my kids and my wife than what I could ever imagine. I mean, my mom still, I talk to her every day. I never would have done that had I not had a setback. I would have not appreciated that. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to find the meaning in the setback. Find the meaning in the setback. So understand, every cloud has a silver lining. So if you can understand what that silver lining is, and it's different from appreciating the setback, but they're close cousins. I would say that looking at the setback and the silver lining that comes with it is important, because you have the ability to, let's say, look at a setback. I say setback too much. Look at your disability or whatever it is you have and understand, even though I'm not able to golf anymore, I'm able to spend more time with my family. So that is a silver lining. That is how I appreciate my setback. I appreciate that because it allows me to spend more time with my kids. Beforehand, I'd be out golfing every day, as much as I possibly could, in order to just experience golf. It's what I love to do. But that isn't a thing for me anymore. So I have another appreciation. And then the 4th thing is to really obtain self-awareness. And that's been a hard thing for me. I've not been able to do that very well at that, and I'll be totally honest. But it's important, because you not only get to see how you handle yourself, how you treat yourself, how you manage your life, what your health, what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're smoking, any of those items. That's one thing. But then also, how do other people interact with you? How do other people view you? How do other people get acquainted with you? So that's another thing as well. The 6th item that we really want to talk about is to gain our clarity. Gain clarity for our true needs. Oh, and there's somebody on that says hello. Oh, it's Linda Kazera. It's been so long since I've seen you, Linda. How have you been? It's so good to see you. Thank you very much for being on. Anyway, so that 6th thing is gaining clarity for what your true needs are. So for me, I mean, my true needs are not to have a nice car, not to have a nice, we have a nice house, but not to have a big, expansive mansion. That's not my need. That's not what I need. What I need is to be able to put bread on the table, be able to provide for my family, which my kids are all over the country now. They're in Alexandria, Virginia, and Cincinnati, Ohio, and Denver, Colorado. But I want to be able to go see them and provide for them and to do things with them. So doing that is really one of those things that in my life, that's what I want to be able to do. Number 7, and this is the last thing, is to celebrate victories. Every victory that you have, whether it's somebody coming online and recognizing you because for whatever reason, like Linda did this morning. Thank you very much, Linda. And by the way, Linda says something else here. So, what's Linda got to say? Oh, well, thank you. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear you. Glad to hear you're doing well. And great destination. Yes, I'm sure you are going to great destinations. There's a hurricane going through Florida right now, so our thoughts and prayers are with all those people that are down there that are dealing with the ramifications of that hurricane. But I know that Linda, you're probably not in Disney right now. You're probably in West Virginia or Baltimore or one of those areas. But it's important to make sure you're safe. And thank you for that. Thank you for all the comments. But number seven is to celebrate victories, and don't focus on the past. That is one of those things where we all need to take you need to take a lesson, or need to take advice from people. You need to be able to understand how that goal that you're heading towards, it's that way. You need to make sure that you're always looking ahead and not looking behind. Yes, you can look behind at times because you need to identify with how far you've come and how far you've been able to take on this adventure you're on. You know, for me, my adventure is speaking, the speaking career. It's been phenomenal to be able to see the growth that I've had over the last 5 or 6 years. It's phenomenal. But I'm not staying there. I'm not staying in looking back and how good it is. I'm looking ahead. I want to make sure that I continue to focus on the goal, focus on that true north, or whatever you want to call it. I think that's important for us all to have that in view. So there's a number of people that have inspired me to bounce back. I'll tell you a little story about my bounce back and who inspired me in the next video. But I'm very thankful for you all being on here. I know there's a lot more than Linda listening. I'm just thankful and happy to be able to serve you in this way. If there's ever anything that I can do for you, please let me know. And we're going to continue on with these bounce back leadership initiatives. So we have Bounce Back Academy, we have Bounce Back Leadership, we have Bounce Back Warriors, and there's more to come. So looking forward to sharing all that with you. But I'm hoping that we can all help you, because what we want to do is we want to see you succeed in whatever way that means to you. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. Take care and have a great day. See you soon. Bye.